Welcome to the Business Your Way podcast. I'm your host, Caryn Gillen. This is episode 214, but our first episode with this new title. So I want to talk about it. First of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for subscribing. And thank you for sharing this episode with your friends. Anyone who's in business, this is appropriate for you. So the reason this is called the Business Your Way podcast is because when I started to take this break back in November, I talked to a lot of people. I masterminded on it. I got coached on it. I thought about it. I maybe did a little journaling. And the question I continued to ask was, what's the right name for the podcast? Which, if you know me very well, you know that I don't really believe in right and wrong. So it was sort of a funny question for me to be asking in the first place. But it came down to this moment sitting in the lobby of a hotel in Cancun, surrounded by a bunch of business owners, where the question was asked, like, well, when you really think about what you do, like, what is it? And I thought about it for a second and said this: what I do, no matter who I'm working with, is help people figure out what is business my way. What is business their way? How are they here to do it? And so here we go. This is the name. And so to start us off, I want to talk about what does business your way mean from my own history so you understand where I'm coming from with this title. So one place this comes from is my own burnout. My own ability that I no longer have, that I had for quite a while. I've been in business for over 16 years, so I've been through a few rounds of what success looks like and a few rounds of burnout. I used to be able to muscle through, to will my way where I wanted to go and try things on for fun or because I thought I had to, that I thought would bring me success. And oftentimes those things that I tried did bring me success. The problem was it wasn't success that was sustainable for me, for my body, for my lifestyle, for my nervous system, right? It was success for other people. And I think we can try on other people's lives like a costume for so long before it just doesn't work anymore. And one of the things that's important to me when I'm working with folks now is how are we being really honest, telling the truth about who we are and what our capacities are, what our preferences are, what our lifestyles are, what's real, whether we have kids, parents we're caretaking, animals, multiple homes, one home. Like, what are the things that create pressure for us in our lives? And how are we making sure that our businesses work with those in a way that works for us? And if you're able to push your way through some of those and end up on the other side with quote unquote success, if it really doesn't fit, there's going to come a point where it does kind of break you in one way or another. And at this stage of my life, and when I look around at all of us and how much time and energy we don't have to recover from burnout, it's important to me that I talk about, like, hey, if we do this your way, maybe it'll seem to go slower in the beginning because you're really learning and taking all the data in as you go and creating strategies that fit for you. But in the long run, you don't have to recover from business your way. You don't have to spend 3 months coming out of a burnout hole, getting back to your life. And when you burn out from doing business other people's way, you don't just burn out and have to recover, but you have to recover and learn how to do it your way. So it's really a multiple part process that takes a lot of energy. And I think that's where we lose a lot of us. I think a lot of the people that we've lost, a lot of the coaches who haven't made it, who maybe were really successful and then all of a sudden they were gone, I think this is where they went. It was like, I got really good at doing it someone else's way. It tanked my body and I didn't have what I needed in me to come back from it because it's hard and it takes a lot of effort and we all have a lot going on and there's a lot going around all around us all the time. So if that resonates with you at all, or if you know an entrepreneur who needs to hear my my story of doing that to myself and having to claw my way out of that into my own way, please share this with them, because we don't have to do it that way. We sure can, but we don't have to. And so this is your invitation, and maybe your permission slip if you need it, to lean into who you are, what you know to be true, and turn it into a business. Because who you are is businessable, for lack of a better term. So that's like the main part of how I help everyone. That's what we're going to always look at on this podcast. So when I invite a guest on this show, which will not happen all the time, but will happen sometimes, it will be because I saw something in them, in their story, in how they show up, that told me they're doing something interesting here. And it's not what everyone else is doing. And I'm pretty sure it's based on who they are. And when I see that, not only am I drawn in, they feel really magnetic to me, but I also think, what do we have to learn from them? Can they come and share what it took for them to do that, and what they're doing, and how they're working with themselves on the success that they're creating? Those are the stories we will tell here. The other thing to know is that I'm basically allergic to any framework that says this will bring you success. I was scrolling this morning and I saw something about AI can tell you in 10 minutes how to develop your 7-figure business. And anything related anywhere near that, I'm a no. I'm like, you don't know me. To quote my favorite, Brene Brown, you do not know me. So I help people know themselves in a way that they can build something that is sustainable for them, that works for them. There's two groups of people who I generally work with, and that's where our stories are going to focus, and where our examples are going to come from, and where I am going to coach live on this podcast. So if you're someone who's listening to this episode and you're like, I want to get coached live on Caryn's podcast, please message me wherever you find me. I work with coaches who are building businesses up to about the $300,000 a year level. The reason I cap it right there is because that is a pretty amazing lifestyle business model where you can be relational in your sales, where you can do organic growth strategies, where you're not having to run Facebook ads to be in that place. I really help people take the network that they have and the business that they have and get it to that place in a way that works for them. If they want to go scale after that, they can go do that with somebody else. I'm not a scaling expert. I'm not interested in scaling here. What I am interested in is getting really beautiful, rock solid foundations built of both your understanding of yourself as a business owner, your understanding of what works for you in sales, your delivery of what makes sense for you and how you position your offers and create your offers. That's what we're going to do around here. The other clients I work with are business owners who want mindset coaching from someone who understands business. So those business owners could be anywhere in their ownership, leadership journey, and they just want to have a solid one-on-one coach by their side. So that's where we're going to leave it today. I want you to think about where in business you are using yourself as the guide for what to do. And I want you to pat yourself on the back for that and ask yourself how I can grow that. And if you want, message me what your answer is, because I want to hear it. You can find me on Instagram at Caryn Gillen, or at Caryn Gillen anywhere, because I have one of those names that is spelled differently. So you can find me. Let's just leave it there. It's good to be back. It's great to have you here. Every time you're listening to one of these episodes, I hope you take one nugget home, apply it to your life, and consider that your little piece of homework from me. All right. Thank you.